bailed on us, guys. Greg bailed. It's like he's busy or something. Anyway, we love him anyway. But today, it's what in the world's happening with marketing. So if you're joining us, chime in if you know anything that we don't mention because we're all in this together. Now, there's a lot of news. And for the Canadians out there, I think Phelan's got something that's like on the top of the list. Phelan, talk about our Canadian government and how they're helping businesses.
Hi there. I'm Phelan Lewis with Seymour Digital Media, partners with PIP. And my news is a bit more specific to BC residents because there's a program going on where you can get a grant of up to $7,500 for starting an e-commerce website or building out. I think there's some language about that, but we'll post it in the description, a link to it. If you have any questions, reach out to either ourselves or Rena about this part. It is for BC people who will also be building the website. So since we're based in BC, we'll definitely be able to help you out with that part. And so we'll leave a link of how to start the application process, but it's first come, first serve. And the minister that's in charge of it said that they are not going to extend it. So definitely get on it as soon as you can.
Right? Aster's here, guys. Oh, a couple others. Guys, chime in and say hi. And Rena, I'm going to let you take it for a minute because I'm going to mute myself so I can get the comments up.
Right. Okay, so I had a few things to talk about today, but I'm going to shove them all aside, and you can get the little tidbits with me on Happy Hour on Friday. My name is Rena Little from Little Works Indie Media, and I run a boutique agency in Vancouver, and I want to talk about Facebook because it was almost like a game of chicken, I think. So as some of you may know, in Australia, there was legislation passed that required payment for copyright infringement.
It passed?
Sorry?
It passed?
Yeah. Oh, yes, did it ever. So what's happened is people in Australia are not allowed to actually share news articles on Facebook. They get a little blank. I don't have an image for you because I'm in Canada. They get a little blank space with a message saying that they can't share it. But the weird thing that happened, which is kind of a jerky move, is that Facebook, I'm going to show you, I'm going to screen share. Look at this. I'm going to screen share. How does this work? Okay, hang on. It's going to be messy for a second. But here's the Australian news. So Facebook shut down all of the posts from all of the Australian news outlets, took away their header images and the whole 9 yards. So you can imagine that this has created a little bit of a kerfuffle, even more so than what we were expecting. So how that's going to work out, we don't know. Apparently, conversation is still happening between the government and Mark Zuckerberg. We'll see how that pans out. Google, on the other hand, paid the money, and Facebook decided not to. And so that'll be really interesting to see how that trickles around the world for other countries and what they're doing. I understand there's some copyright payments going on in places like France, and I'm not sure what other European countries at this moment. But we'll see what that means in terms of copyright and how the industry will
manage that.
Shift. Yeah, exactly.
Well, we learned this morning, and it's not news, good news on the Facebook front, or it's not, I don't value it, and it made me look at Facebook and go, oh. And they're, Phelan, what is it? They're blocking some news that it's not free speech anymore on Facebook.
Well, what had happened is that they are disabling the ability to share of anyone reporting on the Alabama unionization effort for Amazon. And so the post is up there, but reporters found that they weren't able to share it and spread the information, but Twitter allowed them to do that. So it was interesting that they were blocking.
Actually, sorry. I'm so excited about this. I'm excited. There's a thing that this reminds me, who remembers the BC Tel strike in the 80s before TELUS became a thing, when BC Tel was still a Crown Corp? Who remembers that?
I don't.
Because here's where net neutrality, there's this whole, like, I love pulling this apart. Like, where is copyright, where is net neutrality, and where is freedom of speech, and how do those things all fit together to create a user experience? Because when BC Tel was on strike, because BC Tel had like half of the internet service, they were an internet service provider, so they actually squeezed out the union website. So nobody could access the union website during that whole time. And this is why there was a bill passed, I think probably about 10 years ago, C-51, I think. But it was, sorry?
I said, of course you know the name of the bill.
Yeah, well, I was lobbying and trying to get like small business owners to understand the importance of making sure that net neutrality is a thing. And for those of you who don't know net neutrality, that means that there's equal access to all information and that there's no one pinching the flow of what we can actually access when we want to access. Like Google can do that, your internet service provider can do that. I don't know I guess your hosting provider can do that. Hosting providers can do that too. But there are all these little spots where people can just turn off the flow of information. And it's super important to know that, because there are these ideas that, corporations, that there's going to be, what do you call it? Tiered service, where if you want your site to show up on Google, that you have to actually pay for that privilege, and that, and that makes it really problematic, especially when Google's so dominant on the search engine scene.
Right. It's really interesting stuff what's happening out there with this stuff. Because there's stuff happening with the newest social platform, Clubhouse.
Yeah. They've
That's
also been coming under scrutiny by New York Times, who've been trying to have it where they've been writing some very misleading posts about it on their website about what's going on the site. And so it's interesting to see where old media and is coming up against this new media landscape as well. And also, just a clarification, it was Bill C-555 is the
555. Thank you.
You guys so geeky. I love it. Astra's saying she saw that in relation to the Facebook. And Cassie's here but can't stay long. So there's some other interesting news besides the fact that all the social media platforms hate each other and they're causing problems in the world. But we have some good Google, we have some Google news. Is it good news? So I'm going to go first because so they're taking away, if you're interested in Google Ads at all, they're taking away broad match modified. And broad match modified is now becoming phrase match. So anyway, it's kind of a big deal. They've been doing things, so they changed exact match a couple months ago, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7, where exact match is like closely matched. So because exact match used to be exact match, it was brilliant. And so Google Ads is constantly changing. Phelan, you said there's something else that happened today with Google Ads.
There was just fresh over the wire that they've just changed it. So if you were to do any new ads now, you will by default be doing responsive text ads rather than extended the traditional ones. And so they're moving more and more towards where Google wants to have more control over what they're displaying. And where basically you write out 5 headlines and then 5 descriptions, and then they pick the combinations that are going to happen. And so it's again moving more.
Pardon?
Yeah, they're moving more towards like they want to have control over what's being displayed and taking away more control from it. So
taking away more control, but the automation can really help, right? Knowing, because they find the best titles that work together. I mean, we use both. I think it just means that when you're doing Google Ads, you're going to have to go in and manually go to a resource area that isn't that easy. It's not going to, like when you click on new ad, you're going to have to change from dynamic, right, to regular search ad. No, they're not taking it away.
They're basically changing it so it's going to be the responsive. The only reason why I would be concerned about it is that sometimes when you're doing ads, they become over dependent on like, they find one combination, so they won't tell you that we showed this many, an equal amount, and then this is the results. You don't know that part, and so that's where I would get concerned.
Yeah. So how do you actually assess and understand your creative?
Yeah, that they do give you a metric of like best combination, good combination, bad combination, but they're not
Fail. They
giving
give
you
you
I
some
don't like
fail.
that.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
and
It's just like this. It's like following Facebook's ad account when it tells you this is the recommended setting. We've got all these settings, but this is the recommended one, and you just go with that because you don't really know any what else to do.
People mostly
yeah,
pick the
for sure.
recommended with Facebook ads. Do you think?
I
Yeah.
think so. Well, I think most business owners do. I don't, but
So the
that's
market
my secret
professional.
sauce.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So we
yeah,
got that. That's where we want to go with that. Um,
yeah.
and there's some other news on the Google front, which is Google My Business. So I don't know if you guys know, but I teach Google My Business to business owners and marketers. And one of the painful things is that there's a portion of Google My Business where you have to have the app on your phone. You have to. In order to turn on
Yeah,
thing, you have to have it on your phone. And
yeah.
well, it's been pretty painful. No word of a lie. And Phelan, they're changing it, right? I haven't seen the change.
I haven't seen it either. They've announced that they are going to have desktop messaging so that you can have it in a central place, which is going to be really awesome for anyone who's taking care of multiple users, like multiple businesses you're in charge of.
Oh,
You're able to do the messaging for all of those locations,
Mm,
which would be really convenient. And it's a little surprising they haven't done it before now.
right.
Um,
I think they should have
and
an integration between Google My Business and like a chat bot on your computer. If the Google gods are listening, right? That's what I would like. Not that we're talking about what we would like, but is there any other news, or is that it, guys? Are we out of news?
Oh, well, no, there's another one that Rodney posted in the group as well that we had kind of see Google My Business also build out, which was the auto-populating categories and products. We had seen it before where categories were automatically getting added, where Google was scanning your site and say you're a tree service company. They go, oh, you now have a tree service category,
That
a
was on
hedge
the
trimming
inside.
category.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it auto
Yeah.
populates not the wording or verbiage on your website, but I saw it with a review. So I gave somebody a review yesterday, a roofing company. And so, guys, go try this. Go look for a company you worked with and try to give them a review and see what comes up because it took away my options to write a lot of words. And on my, this happened on my phone. It was like, no, it was my laptop. And it gave me the options like, what service did you get? Like leaky roof fix or estimate or like all these different things. Like, and it was like clicking radio buttons versus I'm going to go back and look at that review because I didn't leave any words. So I want to see what shows up after. It's so neat how it's changing. I know I'm a little excited about it. You guys are like, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's Google's also much like Amazon. They play a lot with reviews because they are such an important factor for most businesses that, what's a metric that you can do is getting a genuine review from someone. And so they're always going to be testing, tweaking, figuring out ways to get it standardized and make it more authentic for people. So there's always that balancing act of having it standardized, of having reviews that way versus having someone just kind of fill out randomly what they're thinking. So it was bound to happen that they were going to be emphasizing or modifying the reviews and spending a bit more time looking at Google My Business.
Right. Usually, is it this time of year? Usually, Facebook and Google both have their yearly summits, and every marketer is thrown into a tizzy because something has changed. Like either they've completely rearranged the platform, or they've added new text, or they've, you know, and that hasn't happened this year. We're just seeing the changes trickle in month over month. Are there big changes in Facebook at all or Instagram?
I think it's just the only big change is the adding of the creator. Oh, forgot what it's called. Creator Suite, which is different. No, sorry, not Creator Suite. Business Suite, which is different than Creator Suite. So Business Suite is the only big change, and they're just sort of rolling it out um, um, on some accounts that I've seen. I think that's going to be the next big change, but I'm not sure what that means exactly.
Mm.
I honestly don't.
I just get confused with the business
Oh,
suite and like there's it's just so confusing.
Oh,
Aster did something in the group during the weekend that showed that you can do bolding and italicized and heading
Yeah.
now. And is that in groups or just on pages, or is it?
I I actually looked for that. I don't have that available to me yet, so I think that must be rolling out too. But I have noticed other people making statuses that use all of that, so it must be rolled out somewhere. But that's the thing about Facebook is they roll out all these pieces to different people and test it, and then sometimes it doesn't work out and they pull the whole thing. Sometimes it works out well, and then eventually gets rolled out everywhere. But you don't really know when you're going to find something and it just sort of pops up one day.
Right, right.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Phelan, have you seen any other news with? Do we? I know Core Web Vitals is coming in. Hold your hats, people. It's big. It's going to change things on Google dramatically, and it's all about getting your website up to speed, literally. Um, that was a good one. Um, getting your website up to speed for Google, if that's where most of your traffic comes from. I think that's one of the interesting things. Now, you guys, you're on other platforms, aren't you? What else are you on?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I'm on all the platforms pretty much. I have clients across all platforms. So there's not really anything that I'm not working on, but I'm not creating content for any businesses yet on TikTok. So just to be clear, TikTok is my fun space. At the moment, it is not my workspace, but I'm getting some pretty good ideas. So I'm hoping to get a client on there pretty soon. Sooner than later. If anyone's interested, let me know.
let me ask you this, because for businesses, I mean, TikTok's pretty personal. Good for businesses. Would it be ads you'd be doing, or because doesn't the business
No,
owner?
I don't think I would do ads, but I've seen a few businesses. I think one of the businesses I featured in an earlier live, but I can't remember the name of the business offhand. I was trying to find that account for you yesterday, Pip, but they're some kind of, can't remember if they're an energy drink or a vitamin drink or something like that, and they do amazing TikToks, and it is one person in their company that seems to spearhead and is the main character in all of the TikToks, but he definitely gets all of the areas in the departments and the people, and especially his boss involved. And sometimes they're willing and sometimes they're more unwilling to participate. But it's very funny, and it definitely leaves a lasting impression. I should remember the name of the company. Normally I would, but of course I do have memory issues, so that's that. But that's the idea, is that is to have that sort of lasting branding power. So I think it would be really great for companies who are interested in branding. There are other ways to work with it. Again, the influencers, working with influencers or becoming an influencer yourself. There's one woman who does, I'm sure she's an Amazon affiliate person, and what she does is she does little videos every day with a different theme about the top 5 products that you need to have for whatever it is that theme is for the day. And then she does the video, and then she drops the links in the comments of where you can purchase those things. So that's another way of selling, I think, like actual selling. And then
Interesting.
and then there are some more basic ways, like for service providers, where you actually give information. So you share information, and I don't know how well that actually converts. I'm not sure in terms of sales, but you do get a lot of analytics with TikTok. And the thing that someone asked me a few videos ago, a few lives ago, was the difference between Reels and TikToks. And I looked into that a little further because I didn't have a great answer at the time. And it's really about analytics. So TikTok has great analytics that they share with you on all of your videos. Instagram Reels, not so much. Also, you just get a way bigger play, it seems, on TikTok than you do on Instagram. Instagram is really part of the Facebook philosophy, where they have really, it's a pay to play space. So if you want that number of people liking your stuff, you actually have to pay for it. On TikTok, I mean, it just seems like everyone and their sister is getting like millions of views and whatever. I mean, maybe that's just kind of what's coming through my For You page, but honestly, that's what I see.
if you think about it, I mean, most videos are max 60 seconds. Max. So
Yes.
how many
Yes.
videos can you watch? Like, there's just such opportunity there.
Yes.
I am like grappling in my head how to. I like the community on there. It's very different than what we see here on Facebook. There's more. It's more jovial, I find, and
I think
educational moments are great. I follow scientists. I follow like plants
yeah.
growing. Oh my god! Anyway,
Yeah.
this is not just a TikTok chat. Ooh, or
I would
is
say
saying
before
something?
we
Oh,
get off
go
that,
on.
there was some news that just came in about TikTok 2 days ago that they just launched something called Seller University because they last year had partnered with Shopify and there wasn't any news after that. And I just found it. I'll post the link to the post talking about it. But it is the integration because in the original TikTok in China, this one has really deep integrations with e-commerce. So people doing the passion economy, like they kind of do branding. They'll sell like a shirt as part of it, and then that part they'll have a link and it's like integrated in fully into the app. And so now they're starting to expand that part, and it looks like they're going to have a pretty deep integration with Shopify.
In
So I'll post a
wow.
link to that.
Okay, we're gonna have to. I want to link to that because I want to read that now.
Yeah.
Or is
There's,
asking a couple questions, which
yeah.
is I'm going to read it. Has IG changed how it will feature repurposed content? Number one.
No, I don't see any changes there yet. I don't know if they will, and I'm not sure how they can. From what I understand, is you can actually just download your TikTok video and then re-upload it as fresh content. It does have the little TikTok logo in the corner, but it's not the same as sharing or resharing the same way that you would regram a photo, right? So I'm not really sure. I don't think it gets the same views on Instagram. Oh, I see what you mean. You're asking if it's going to change the shared content versus the native content, if those views will be different. I'm not sure. That would be something interesting to test, actually. But right now, I'm not. I don't know how they could possibly. I don't know how they could possibly identify that their AI. So I don't know. But that doesn't mean that they're not doing it. I just don't know. I could look into that and see what I can find out.
That'd be really interesting. Now,
Yeah.
is there Reels? Do they have a time limit as well?
I believe so, but I can't remember offhand what they are. So Reels have a time limit, but that IGTV is where you can really uh, go long. So I think some of the strategy revolves around putting the short version up on TikTok, and then oh, borders. Oh, interesting. Sorry, I just read the comment. This is the problem when you get comments flying up, I get distracted. But yeah, okay, well, I'll look into that a little bit further. But for now, what I was saying is that the strategy is do the short, get the short amount of information up on TikTok and then send people to your Instagram to view the long version. And then some people are also sending people to YouTube. It depends on the user.
Right. That's so interesting. Now, one last question for you, Rena. Oh, go
I was
failing.
just
I'm
going to
interrupting you.
just give an update. It's 15 to 30 seconds for Reels.
Oh, thank you. That's right.
You're good. It's true. Now, Rena, when you look at the analytics, are you looking at the analytics on a desktop for TikTok?
No, I've been actually mostly I read about the analytics, but the only time I look at analytics is on the phone, and I don't have
Interesting.
my phone handy.
You're so different.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's what makes it great, right?
Right.
Yeah, I really am. I love TikTok on my phone, mostly because I used to, not this week, but last week, look at my phone before I go to bed,
If you guys
which is
don't,
when I get sucked in.
yeah, if you don't know, Rena's doing Lent, not because she's religious, but because it's about being practical and loving what you have and respecting what you have. Anyway, Rena, you can go into that, Phil, and I think you were going to say something though.
No, that was just the update on the length for the Reels. That was my only point. I just wanted to get that before we moved on.
So there were no major website updates besides the money being given out. We can't be the only province doing it. Like, I'm sure across Canada they're doing something because BC's not.
I guess it's up to provincial governments. I don't think
Yeah.
that this money is federal allotted federally. I think it's allotted provincially. So it would really depend on the governments in the
Mm.
Yeah,
province.
there are some federal programs, but they're not deep targeting it the same way that this one is going.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
Canada COVID relief, if you type that in,
yeah.
you'll see a bunch of government sites that will list it out federally and then provincially.
Interesting.
Um, I just know that this one is very specific to BC, just to kind of keep everything going. And again, like the provider for the new site is also going to have to be located in BC. So
That's right.
that's
That's
a
right.
condition.
The other thing I would like to know is anyone who's out there that actually lives in a different province, if you have anything that's like this, drop it in the comments below. I'd love to know what other provinces are doing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks.
for sure.
Yeah, that'd be really exciting. I mean, I think I don't know, Shopify increased by 250% in the last year.
Yeah.
More people than ever before have been shopping online, and so it's very interesting what's happening in that area of the online space, because as stores aren't open or people are afraid, they're shopping online. I mean, my parents, 80 years old, they're grocery shopping and getting it delivered. So I mean, so cool. I'm
Yeah.
very proud of them, I have to say. Right? Because I'm not even good at the online shopping. Like, that's something that I don't. Rena, are you an online shopper? Who's an
I've
online
been an
shopper?
online shopper for many, many years because of my car accident laid me up. So definitely a long time online shopper. And it takes me just as long to online shop as it does to shop in real person.
Have you ever bought shoes?
Online, yes, I'm a perfect size 6, so it works out every time.
Oh, okay, guys.
Yeah.
Anybody listening? What was the last thing you bought for online shopping? Phelan, we buy
Oh,
electronics.
oh.
Oh.
I bought a fan with an air purifier built in. I'm really excited about it. It should be coming soon.
Mm. I bought dog nail trimmers. Yes, that's right. From a Facebook ad. I don't buy anything, and they got me, so they must be really busy because I'm a hard sell. Because I've been in marketing
Facebook,
forever.
the Facebook ads are a little funny though with those little products. I've bought a number of them and very few of them actually work out, but they always look excellent and I always buy them late at night. But yeah, I've regifted a lot of the things, and actually I have a bunch of things that didn't even work the way that they were supposed to, which is very disappointing because they were these really nifty little cord holders that you can like it works like a yo-yo where you pull it out and then it snaps it back in, but it doesn't work, unfortunately. And I bought like 6 of them because I was going to give them to all my friends.
Oh yeah, you could give broken things. So as for the world of marketing, there was quite a bit this month, but it seems like it was trickling in, yeah, and it's a lot of political stuff going on right now, right? So
Yeah.
Well,
The
there's
change,
also
I think,
what?
I was just going to say that Pinterest also posted that they had a 50% increase on their monthly user base, as well as they also were announcing deeper integrations with Shopify as well. So
right.
that's a new avenue that's opening up. I know that I had done ads on their platform before and found them to be about as
Yeah.
user friendly as LinkedIn ads. It
Yeah.
needed to grow up a little bit, but I'm excited to get that because it is similar to Instagram. People who go on there aren't afraid to be like, oh, I like that thing, I'm going to go buy that. And so that's going
Yeah.
to be a good one for people that have, crafty stuff or anything cool. That's a good avenue for them to get found and to make sales. So I'm excited about that.
I actually know a Pinterest specialist who does organic, and so we're gonna get her
Right.
on sometime. I think it'll be really interesting. I think, guys, we need to write down all the little things that come up, because in a month there's a lot that comes up, and
That's the problem. The other thing that changed was the thing that I talked about during another one of our not the wrap up, but the change of the code that you need to put on your website in order to
oh
track
yeah,
events. So it's no longer the
Yeah.
events, it's called UI something or another. It's no longer events, but that needs to be done. If you haven't already done that, that would be a good thing to put on your to-do list for your Facebook ads.
okay. So if you're doing Facebook
Yeah.
ads, you gotta re up your
Yeah, I forgot. It's UI. Ah, gosh, I really do need notes, man.
Yeah, it's like the conversion API, isn't that
Okay.
what
Yeah,
it's called?
conversion. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I think the other
Yeah.
news and the final news, yeah, that's right, I'm taking it, was DuckDuckGo hit over 1 million daily users, right? I think that
Oh,
was,
wow.
yeah. So if you're interested in DuckDuckGo, or that's your search engine, the guy's doing really well. Did he work at Google? No,
No. He had a startup and he made $30 million and then just decided that he had all the money he could ever want. So else was he going to do was take on Google. That was
right.
pretty
And
much
he's
his
doing,
whole
I
plan.
mean, that's pretty good. I like ads, not just because I sell them, but now, is there any final notes or comments besides us telling everybody who we are? Yeah, again, yeah. No?
I'm
No.
good. I got it all out.
Okay. So, guys, if you know of any news and you've made it till the end, or you're watching the replay and you've made it till the end, drop it in the comments because we're here to learn from each other. And if you don't know who we are, we run a Facebook group called Cyberpunk Geeks Marketing Mixer, and we're in there all the time with marketing experts and business owners who love marketing. So join us there if you're not in there, and we'll all see you next week for a wonderful chat about something else.
Yeah, and don't forget to check back for the links that we always drop in the comments below after.
Yeah. Good point. Okay, we'll see you next week. Thanks for joining. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye.